see if you've got.
That's all right. I can see it on the screen.
You're live.
So, as we wait for people to come back. Nobody doing the hot and fast? Oh, we got someone.
Is that you?
Hello, Ian.
How many beers in, Ian?
We are just waiting for some more people to join in. Parenting as well. Well, so is that like just one for the child, or you sharing the beers, or? So I mean, what you're going to see here. So to handle the ribs, obviously things are going to be hot. So what I normally do is I get some cotton gloves or woolen gloves. These are just some like cheap woolen gloves that you get from Primark, like people use for winter. And then I can just put my plastic gloves over the top, just to stop me from burning my delicate little fingertips. So. Okay, we're getting on there. We're just going to wait until 12:45. So, we've got a few more minutes, give some people a chance to join in, and make sure that they are ready to see what we're going to do as we're basically going to do the old burn and turn method on these ribs. Help us basically develop the bark, create the bark on these ribs really quickly. You can see my gateway is still running at 300 degrees Fahrenheit, although it went a little bit hot earlier. It's running what we call a strong 300, which is probably more like 325, but it's fine. It's don't get too too worried about temperature. So we are just going to give people a couple more minutes, and then we will start looking at flipping these ribs. So, So it is really nice to see that we've got people literally from all over the place. So obviously I know Ian is in Kent. Dirk, I believe, is Holland or Belgium. I think Holland. I know Tom is from Belgium. Can't see Dan. Where is Dan? To be fair, I did get a message from Dan earlier, and I think he maybe passed out somewhere. Sorry, Dirk. It's so Belgium. But at least I didn't see Dan's Jaeger machine in the background of the picture he sent. So that's always a positive thing. So we are coming up to 12:45. So basically, as we're we're cooking these ribs hot and fast. We've got no heat deflector or anything like that in the bottom. So what we want to do to basically stop any burning is we're basically going to flip them over, all the way. So we're then going to start cooking them meat side down rather than the bone side down. Just looking at the time, there we go. We are at 45. So. Basically take my cooker, take the lid off, and I'm literally going to pick the ribs up, just like that, and then I'm going to lay them down so they're meat side down, straight over the coals. Okay, thing again, straight down over the coals. So, I mean, even if I just bring that over, so you can see, we're already getting a really nice color on the back of them. Okay, so, I just don't want to burn them. So, meat side down now, put the lid back on. Whenever you're cooking hot and fast, or especially if you're cooking on a drum, make sure you have that lid off and on really quickly. Don't take the lid off and then take them inside or anything like that. You want to really minimize how often or how long you have that lid open, because otherwise you will get big temperature spikes. So, I've just flipped those ribs over. We're going to leave them now for another 10 minutes. So, we are at 12:45. So we're going to go to 12:55, and then we will do the next flip. And basically, we're just going to do this a few times to help sort of build that color, build that bark up on the ribs so they're ready to wrap. But this is going to happen real quick. So yeah, we're just going to keep on doing that. We will stay live throughout this time, rather than stopping and starting constantly. So, if you've got any questions, whatever it might be, feel free to put them in the comments. Obviously, we are having Sunday barn time in the sun, which is quite nice. Also, what do you think of the barn? Do you have questions about what exactly is it? How much rubbish do we have stored here? All that kind of stuff. I've got. Can I have a Chrome, please? So yeah, we are literally just waiting now. Just letting the ribs keep on cooking. Thank you, Luke. Gloves are a bit sticky. So yeah, I'm just going to leave those there for another 10 minutes. So take my gloves off for now. I might actually warm them up on the drum because it's pretty, starting. We've been stood out in the barn for a while, so it's starting to feel the cold, as it were. So, for any of you guys joining late, what we've already done is with our hot and fast ribs, we've taken the lid off, we've picked the ribs up, and we've literally flipped them over, so they're now sitting meat side down. So, if you haven't done that already, you need to get that done off that end. We don't have any heat deflector below or anything like that. We are cooking straight over the fire. So these are going to cook real quick. So you guys doing the hot and fast time. As you probably saw earlier, we are going to cook these ribs in the amount of time that it actually takes before the low and slow cooks even come to wrap. We're going to have them fully cooked. The gloves that we use, they are little cheap woolen gloves that we get from Primark. So basically like your standard winter woolen gloves. And then we basically slap on top some, cheap disposable plastic gloves that we get from Booker, from the cash and carry. I know lots of people say, oh, you need to get these different gauntlets and things like that. No, I'm too cheap on that type of stuff anyway. Tom is asking, so on a contest, are we cooking ribs low and slow or hot and fast? We cook them hot and fast. So yeah, we started cooking our ribs hot and fast back in
16? 15.
I think it was 2016. 2016. We started cooking ribs hot and fast, and we were cooking them on gateway drum, and at that time in Europe as well, it was like nobody else was cooking ribs hot and fast or doing well with it when cooking hot and fast. And we kind of got our first gateway drum. We practiced one weekend, and then we had a contest the week after, and I think we went straight in with like a second place or something like that, second or first place ribs. And yeah, it just they come out just as juicy, and yeah, we really like the way they come out on the drum. So it was just why continue with low and slow? Everything just happens a bit quicker. Oh. And yes, this whole barbecue game, there is a lot of waiting involved. So, we are trying to think, when do I even
12:51. You've got 4 minutes until we flip again.
Okay, so yeah, so just another 4 minutes until we flip again. So it's literally just, every 10 minutes, we're just going to flip, 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 flip. Well, yeah, exactly, Dan. It's waiting does mean more drinking. I think that's why like the drinking and the barbecue thing go so well together. So, Dan, are you out in your kind of like man cave, or are you
still in bed?
Yeah, still in bed. So, is beer essential to cooking good barbecue? I've never done it sober. So, I've never really done it sober, so it's hard to say. I'm going to say yes. One of the things I do also smoke, so I use that for a lot of my timings as well. So, normally if I was doing this at a contest or just, not on YouTube, if I was just doing it at home, it would basically be 2 cigarettes and flip would be my timing. And also, I think, like, when you're talking about beer choice for when you're cooking barbecue, something. I mean, we drink Corona. It's kind of become a staple within the village. Basically you're looking for something that doesn't get you too drunk. A good session beer, something you can drink like 10 of and still walk. So.
2 minutes.
2 minutes. So I'm going to put my gloves back on. Yeah, I don't smoke regular cigarettes. I still smoke my little, my different one. So, but it still works the same. That was one of the things that Emma was worried about when I stopped smoking regular cigarettes. Was how is it going to affect the timeline?
Because it's not your health. How's it going to affect the timeline?
Health doesn't matter, but how does it affect the timeline?
So 1 minute left.
So 1 more minute. You can see, we've got nice smoke coming out of the gateway. Those wood chunks would have already burnt off by now. So that is literally the lovely pork fat dripping down onto the fire and, giving us a nice extra bit of smoke hit. That's why I don't need much wood smoke in the drum. And, the WSM is just doing its thing. So just wait until it hits the magic number.
$12.55.
$12.55. So it's now time to flip the ribs again. So again, I'm just going to pick them up. Normally I just try and stay consistent on which end you pick it up by. So, you can see you've got some nice little bit of sizzling going on. So I'm just going to flip them back over. Same again, just pick them back up, flip them back down, and then close the lid on them. It's nice and easy. So, but we're going to be, we're cooking at 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Probably always make sure that you've not knocked your vents when you open the drum. because that's what I've done there. So, but we're going to be trying to get the bark formed on these in about an hour and 10 minutes. So, no, I don't have Tom. I don't have a heat deflector in the gateway. The only time I use a heat deflector in my gateway is when I'm cooking ribs, and that's just because I cook in a foil pan, and I'm worried I'm going to burn through the foil pan.
That is ribs.
Oh, chicken. Sorry, chicken. When I'm cooking chicken. So but anything else, if I'm cooking brisket, if I'm cooking pork butts or ribs, I don't use the heat deflector. I just use it when I'm cooking chicken. I basically don't want too much direct heat coming up off on such a small thing. And again, hopefully you've gone and flipped your ribs. And we just wait another 10 minutes. I will leave Emma to entertain. Come on.
Was that dancing? Sorry. I need a Yeti to sit on.
Yeah, that is one thing we do need.
What's the most common barbecue mistake? Drinking too much.
Too much wood.
Yeah, too much wood. Especially when you're using lump charcoal. If you put too much wood in there, it
goes bitter. Yes, on the second flip, we are now back up to meat side up. But most common mistake I would say is people use too much wood, so it ends up coming out a bit bitter and very, very dark. Think of using wood like you would like salt and pepper.
And the other thing is when you're going to put on a meat, make a note of what time you put it on. That's always it's been on for 10 minutes when it's really been half an hour, 45 minutes.
That's one of my favourite tricks.
I know.
Yeah, that barbecue guru is a bit noisy.
Yeah.
But at least we know it's working.
Yeah. If it goes quiet, it's time to sort it out.
What time is it? Are we?
I'm away from the clock.
I know. I keep having to stare.
12:59.
12:59. So another 6 minutes until we get ready to flip again.
I really miss music.
Yeah, more waiting around.
More waiting around. No drinking for me. That's one thing about a competition. I let Ed drink, so then if I stay sober, I can sort him out if he gets too drunk, or I can rescue something if needed.
Wow. Some people also have a bad fucking track record when they have decided to drink 4 bottles of Prosecco at the biggest money contest of that year.
Yeah, you're never going to let me forget that.
No, not at all.
Yeah, it's safer if I don't drink.
Yes, Nikki, we do. Yeah, that's it, Dan.
Prime Move 8, yes.
Yes.
It was my birthday. It's a lovely event. Nicest Prosecco there. I mean, you can drink a good 2 bottles and not have a hangover. That's how it is.
Or you can go and push it and drink 4 bottles and be violently ill.
Yeah. But did I complain once?
No, because
I manned up.
Yeah. It was.
But yeah, good
it
time.
was just a case of when I had to wake her up at like 5:30 and go, get up and go and fucking have a shower.
Yeah, so Emma doesn't drink at competitions now, just in case.
But no, so Nikki, yes, we do always use Big K charcoal, or at least when we're in Europe.
Yeah. We've used it for the last 10, 11 years.
Yeah, 10, 11 years. It's, I mean, we've always, to be fair, they were like the first team that supported, the first company that supported us back in 2011. And it's always worked for us. It's always been a consistent product over the years. And yeah, it's cheap as well. It's like, for the amount you get, it burns long, it burns hot. It's
it's a good
kind of what we want.
business.
Yeah. What time are we at now?
We are at 1:02. Hey, barbecue friends.
Yes, I don't know who Barbecue Friends is though. What's
Sorry.
that logo? People see my balding head. It's no.
Shh, don't tell them about that. Oh,
the best barbecue side. I mean, the to be fair, the best one is nothing exciting. Coleslaw. It kind of goes with everything. But if you're trying to
Hasselback potatoes.
Hasselback potatoes. I mean, mac and cheese, cornbread. What's the other thing? Can't remember the name.
Barbecue beans.
Yeah, barbecue beans is good.
Jalapeno poppers. Never.
No, not ABTs. Not ABTs. Too much work. So,
I know, Luke. I know you love ABTs.
They are like the most beautiful thing ever.
So, all right. If you think that, I am going to bring enough for you to make like catering volume of them and see if you still think the same.
Challenge accepted.
We made a mistake on our first catering job to put ABTs on the menu.
Yeah, well, we were doing a pop-up restaurant night, weren't we? And we decided to do ABTs, and we had to make 300 of them.
Yeah, and if it wasn't for our friends Jay and Rachel, love you lots, we would never have got through it. Right, so we are at 1:03.
2 minutes.
2 minutes to go, and then we're going to flip the ribs again.
Yeah, I mean, so that invasive thorn lumpwood, the marabou charcoal, is again is a really good one. It doesn't spit. I use the ACH 15, which is made from an acacia, but we've used the I think it was like BCH 12 is their marabou charcoal. We use that as well. It's really good stuff.
But if we're cooking in the States.
Oh, if we're cooking in the States, Blues Hog lumpwood charcoal. It's that's what we use. It's burns really clean, which a lot of the American charcoal doesn't. It's like a lot of people ask about Kingsford charcoal, like briquettes, and they're absolute garbage. Give me heat beads any day over those.
And your favourite beer if we were competing with America?
Oh, if we're in America, I mean, I generally drink Coors Light for the contest. If I'm just like out and about, like enjoying myself, or like the different parties we go to, I tend to drink Miller High Life, the champagne of beers. It's, and funny enough, you kind of get to see how
105
how redneck your friends are by the ones that love the Miller High Life versus the ones that don't. But right, 105, we're going for a flip again. So, as you can see, I'm just going to bring this right closer to the camera. So, you can see, we're starting to get really nice colour. So we're going to go for one more burn on the meat side down. You know, I've already got a bit of bone reduction as well, which is really good. So flip them over again. And we're going to leave those for 10 more minutes.
Mitch, no line when it comes to Corona.
No. Unless your name is Lily.
Yes, Lily's allowed them.
She puts like half a line in it.
Leave Lily alone, otherwise I have to help you.
It's, but no, yeah, no line in the Corona.
Technically, it's a fruit and veg. You don't like that.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, does that actually count towards your 5 a day? It's, So, as we are now, you know, we've got our ribs flipped for the final time. We now need to think about wrapping them.
Yes, we do.
So,
Bear with me.
So for wrapping the ribs, I mean, hanging ribs and wrapping ribs, it's two different techniques. It's you know, I mean, to be fair, people win both, whether it be hanging or burn and turn. The benefit of doing the burn and turn ribs is that you don't have to cut them down so small. You know, if you're hanging the ribs, particularly in a gateway, if you're hanging the ribs, you really need to have them to a certain size so they don't dangle in the fire, quite literally. So, you know, that's one of the, you know, if you're cooking for home, it's better to have longer. You know, do the burn and turn. So yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
So as we are now coming to, I mean, is this close to our comp process? Sort of. Okay, sort of. You know, we do a few things a bit differently. Obviously, we're not going to give away all our secrets, but you know, what we're going to do now is going to help you cook some fantastic ribs. You know, you'll get to taste a really good rib. So I will let Emma take over a bit here. So we're just going to basically set up our tin foil already. So, you know, when we take the ribs off the cooker, we can just you know, put them straight into the tin foil and wrap them all ready.
So the first thing is tin foil always should be shiny side up. So you want what we're going to do is we're going to put the ribs on the shiny side.
And I know people say that it doesn't make a difference, but it does. As in, it's the way I've always done it, so it's the way I continue to do it.
That's one thing about barbecue. You seem to get a bit superstitious. So if you do one thing and it works, keep on doing it.
And then all I'm doing here is just trimming, you know, cutting up some little squares of butter or slices of butter. So you know, I'm going to use 2 of those to each rack of ribs. Do you want to lay out?
Yeah.
We'll get both of them laid out.
So if you've got normal tin foil at home and you haven't got the ultra thick, I would go for about 2 or 3 layers, just because it's really thin and I don't want the rib bones to poke through. We are using really, really strong tin foil. This stuff could...
We always joke about saying that you could like patch up aeroplanes with it. It's that thick. It's,
so we're only using 1 sheet. But yeah, at home, if you've got the thin stuff, use 2 to 3 sheets. The next thing I'm going to do is for me, it's a hand. For Ed, it will be half a handful of light brown sugar. And I'm literally just making, it's like a long rectangle ready for the ribs to go straight onto that.
So, and then all I'm going to do is put my 2 bits of butter there. Do you want to do the same?
Yeah.
There we go. And again, put my 2 blocks of butter on there. Now, we're not going to add anything else at this stage. We're not going to add apple juice or anything else. It's, acceptable heat fluctuation is like 20 degrees. I'm not that precious. I prefer things running a bit hotter than colder, to be fair. So, my gateway at the moment is running at, 320, 350, which is fine because we're cooking hot and fast. We're always looking at it. We're always seeing it, so we can adjust as needed. But you kind of a bit of extra heat doesn't hurt anything. You just do things a bit earlier. That's all. But as it is at the moment, these are looking pretty good.
How does it look like to take a sweet butter for ribs?
I don't really. How do I say sweet? We don't really have sweet butter in the UK. It's like we either have like salted or unsalted. I mean, to be fair, a bit of extra sweetness isn't going to hurt anything. We use salted butter because that's generally what I have in the house. So we use that, and a bit of extra salt isn't going to hurt anyone, or isn't going to hurt the ribs anyway.
Hot and slow also.
For low and slow, we do pretty much the same thing. There's a slight difference that we will do when we're wrapping the low and slow ribs. Basically, once we get the ribs in and we get them wrapped up, we're going to pour in a load of apple juice, and that's basically to stop it burning. We need that extra liquid in there, whereas if we're slow, we don't need so much liquid in there to stop it from burning. So that's the main difference. So it'll be very similar. If you're talking about temperature difference on low and slow, again, I'm more of a 20 degrees. If it's 20 degrees difference, I'll make I'll make some adjustments. Otherwise I'll just let it ride out and settle back down. But yeah.
Right, it's 13 minutes past.
So we've got 2 minutes.
We're never this organised for a competition.
Yeah, it's normally because I'm off drinking with Peter.
Yeah.
So we've already got our tin foil laid out. We're ready for our ribs. So we've got 2 more minutes before these ribs are going to come off, and then we're going to wrap them. So not long, but I always find it funny when people ask about the hot and fast and low and slow debates. It's kind of like, we're going to have these ribs cooked and eaten before we have our low and slow ribs wrapped. It's so
yes, you are going to have these.
We also have our friend Luke with us today, so we have I say Luke is sort of in the barn bubble, as it were. So we kind of have somebody to help us eat these ribs, because
I don't know about you, but I can't.
I'm not going to be able to eat that many ribs. What time is it? It's 1 minute to go.
Get ready.
So. The jumping, people get too worried about temperature spikes or fluctuations. It's only if it goes like 20 degrees up and it keeps going that I'll step in. But if not, I'll just let it ride out. It's right. We are at 3:15. So another 10 minutes have passed, and because like I say, make sure you have your lid open as little as possible. So I've got my ribs here. Got a nice bit of colour on them. As you can see here, dripping with juice already. The bones, we're starting to see some nice reduction on here as well. So we are going to lay these with the bones facing away from you because it helps with the tension in the foil. And we're going to place them meat side down on the tin foil. I'm going to grab the other ones.
Just get out of your way.
So it's nice, you can see like a bit of sizzle there, a bit of the fat sizzling on the ribs. So
They smell good too.
Yeah, and they smell really good. So again, I'm just going to lay them meat side down on top of the butter and the sugar, and then Emma's going to wrap these up.
So all I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up both sides and make a little tent. So in the middle, I'm just going to slightly tighten it up, keeping an eye on those bones to make sure that they don't pop through the tin foil. So just do it gently, no need to rush. You'll see where they start to make a little mould, and I always check my finger to make sure I haven't punctured it at all. On one end, I will screw it up nice and tightly, just like that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stuff up the ribs and pour some apple juice inside. That's why the bottom's so tight, so that the apple juice doesn't come out. And I'm literally just going to count to 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And that's it. That 5 seconds of apple juice pouring will basically stop your ribs from burning, is the idea. So we got that one done. We got the second rack to do as well.
So once again, one side, 2 sides. Slowly roll up. Check to make sure. No, they're good. Seal one side, so that side's sealed. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And seal up the other side. Now, when we wrap like this, it makes it easy because now you've got 2 handles, one on each side, so you can put it on and off the smoker.
And then, I'm just going to put these straight back onto the cooker. So.
For competitions and home, we always use apple juice. If we were catering or we didn't have any apple juice in the house, you can use beer, you can use...
to be fair, one of the things I quite like using is Blue Hog Tennessee Red. As in, it basically has everything in it. So, if you don't... So when I'm catering, I'll quite often, instead of doing like the sugar, butter, apple juice, I'll just pour in a load of Blue Hog Tennessee Red, and that actually works really well. So I'm just going to give you guys a bit of time to, finish up wrapping your ribs. Rough cider would be good as well. So rough cider would be good. Admittedly, apple juice is cheaper than cider, and I'd rather just drink the cider than sort of waste, not waste, but than use the cider for wrapping with. But I mean, it will work. It will give a slightly different taste. But the apple juice just really helps stop the burning. Having that extra liquid in there. We're going to get more liquid come out of the ribs when the fat renders out of them. But yeah. Right, I'll just give you a few more minutes. Oh, White Lightning is my childhood. And, well, to be fair, why I can't remember half of my childhood.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, I can put a link for the foil. We do buy it from Costco. So if you are a Costco member, because it is a trade company, you can get it from there. But if you don't, Barbecue Gourmet does also sell the Kirkland brand tin foil, which is really good, really heavy duty, and
Lasts forever.
Yeah. That's the thing. I mean, we always say like one of these rolls will do us about 3 or 4 contests, as well as a bit left over for home.
And we use a lot of tin.
We use a lot of tin foil. So you getting a roll of tinfoil to use at home for general barbecue stuff? I mean, I'm normally looking like 3 or 4 months out of it. So if you want to let me know when you've got your ribs wrapped and back on the cooker.
If you are wrapping and you found out that you've pierced the tin foil, instead of taking the ribs out of the tin foil and rewrapping, just get a sheet of tin foil and wrap that around the ribs that are already wrapped. Makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, so just patch it up with an extra sheet over the top rather than sort of starting again. So now that we have our ribs already wrapped, our ribs are wrapped and they are now back on the cooker, we are going to take another break because basically we just got to wait an hour. That's it, so we are going to be back online at 10 minutes past 2. So yeah, we're going to be back online at 10 minutes past 2, and then we'll be ready to start, talking about how we're going to check the ribs for doneness. Hopefully they'll be nice and tender by then. If not, we'll show you what we do if they're not. Basically, put them back on for a bit longer. But we'll show you how we test for doneness, how we test for tenderness. And then once they are done, we're going to start looking at how we're going to glaze them. So we are going to use my favorite, Blues Hog Original. And we're going to get the sauce set. We're going to slice into them and we're going to eat some tasty ribs. So we're going to leave it there for now. If you've got any questions, let us know. We will be back online at 10 minutes past 2. Okay, so 10 minutes past 2. Yes, Sparky, we are also excited about the new bottles that actually you can pour straight out of. So, yes, Nikki, the ribs do smell really good already. And you think they've only been on for about an hour. So, give it a bit longer, get them in the foil, keep on cooking them a bit longer, and we're going to have some really tender, juicy ribs that are hopefully, they're going to taste great. So, 10 past 2. So, set an alarm or whatever. We will see you back online then. So. Always with the Blues Hog Original.